So, this was quite an exciting one. I've never used retinol before, and I've definitely been going in the direction of wanting to use it recently. So I was very curious to see what was going to happen when I first used it. I will admit I was a little bit nervous because you hear about the side effects from retinol, but it really wasn't as bad as I was expecting at all. So I started by using it 2 times a week as requested on the directions. And what I found just from those first couple of days, basically my eyes just felt a little bit sunburned. That was all. So just a little bit hot and a little bit dry. But apart from that, it was absolutely fine. I really didn't have too many problems with it. I only found that kind of heat really came out if I sat in the sun, which is understandable. It's retinol. It's going to expose your skin a bit more to the sun, which is fine. I just made sure that I covered up a lot more, used a much higher SPF to make sure that was okay. And now I've been using it every other day and I haven't had any problems at all. It's just been going on. Lovely. It's also a really, really lovely texture. It's so light, so soft. And as you can see, I've barely even touched it. I've used it throughout the month, but like such a tiny bit goes such a long way. So this is going to last me a really, really long time. And I'm really excited about that.
This is the Origins Plantscription Retinol Eye Cream. Now I've used retinol countless times on my face, but I've never used a retinol eye cream. Can be a little bit scary. Retinol is kind of that, scary anti-aging ingredient that could cause sensitivity. So putting it on somewhere like your eyes, that's very delicate, could be a bit like, ooh, am I gonna do that? But for me, I didn't actually experience any irritation at all. I don't know if that's because I've built that tolerance up to here. So potentially I already had some resistance to it, but I really, really loved it. One of the main areas on my face that I really want to target when it comes to kind of preventing and anti-aging in general is my eye area. You can see when I smile, loads of my wrinkles do form, and that's because I'm quite expressive and I've got quite a big smile, I guess. So I've really loved this one. What I've seen over the last month of using it is I've seen those fine lines start to soften slightly. Now, a month probably isn't as long as I would want to report on this. I'd probably say 3 months to 6 months. But so far, I have seen them start to smooth slightly. And instantly, one thing I really like about it is the texture. This really lovely, like creamy texture. You can see I've not been very nice going into this. I have to use like the back of my finger, which is kind of disgusting just because I've got really long nails. So I go into the product like this and then go straight onto my eyes. But I love just how creamy and nourishing it is. So I feel like that kind of counterbalances the drying effects that retinol can have. It has said to use it kind of every other and twice, but I've used it 3 times a week just religiously, just because I knew it wouldn't give me sensitivity. Don't know if I should admit that, but that's what I did. I've been using it at nighttime only because it does have retinol, which does increase your skin's sensitivity to light.
I think it's very efficient eye cream. It has worked very well around I keep saying fine lines, but I think it's start to be wrinkles because I'm 35, so it worked really well. However, I got too excited too soon, I think, because I've used it every single night. But I've got sensitive skin and I've only introduced retinol in my skincare 2 months ago. So I had to take a few steps back after the first 2 weeks as I start feeling a bit of tingling sensations around the eyes, like 10-15 minutes after I've applied it. So I cut it down to 3 days a week and it worked perfectly fine. I love the texture. It's very rich but not greasy. It absorbs really quick, and yeah, it's just an amazing natural product. It's got no scent to it, but it's really done the job.
As soon as I saw retinol eye cream, I knew I needed it. I don't normally use retinol on my face. I'm a bit into niacinamides and other acids at the moment. However, my main bit of pigmentation and my main concern around lines are my frown lines and my under eyes. And obviously retinol is proven to help with those. As soon as I got it home, I gave it a good read because retinol you need to be careful with. So I'm glad I read the instructions before I used it because I would have gone in and used it twice a day. However, it does say to start with twice a week in the evening, and then you can build up your tolerance. You may experience some flakiness and some dryness. That is normal because it's retinol. However, plan your tolerance, so build up 3 times a week, 4 times a week, and you shouldn't see it, but if you do see it, it's natural. My favorite thing about this cream is its balmy texture, and it didn't sting my eyes. Again, it's recyclable in true Origins style because they've got a really nice sustainability policy. It's actually got micro encapsulated retinol in, which Unfortunately, we don't know the percent. We are on a mission to. However, what that means is the retinol strength and potency doesn't degrade over time, especially if you're opening and closing the pot a lot. It just means it'll keep it as high as strength. If you're unsure of how to apply it as well, I love the fact it's got a tiny little eye on the back with where to dot it. Visual cues are always so much easier to follow. But yeah, I'm really happy with this so far. I've noticed my pigmentation around my eyes has softened. It's not gone. I've still got that sort of spilt coffee kind of marks around my eye. And they do feel like they are a little bit firmer. It's not working on my deep frown lines. I didn't expect it to, but for the slight fine lines, yeah, it's definitely softened them.